Respect.
Two people from Atlas Copco, so I've opened this up. We have one person waiting.
Oh, would you like?
Yeah, right. Yeah. Good evening. Ready? You want that?
Sure, very welcome, everyone. Why don't we start off with a roll call? Anton? Here. Marlene?
Present.
Paul?
Here.
Mike? Present. Phil? Present. And I believe Wanda is excused tonight. So we have a forum. First up here, have to approve the minutes of the prior meeting. Everyone, any questions, and if not, can we get a motion to approve the minutes?
I'll make the motion.
Great, second? Second. All approved, or? Will be moved. We'll approve the minutes. Reports, I don't really have any report for the finance committee, but Amy, you want to maybe touch on the financials?
Let's quickly go over the narrative that's included in your packets. So year-to-date revenue is 306,000. 284,000 of that is in fees and 22,000 in interest. Expenditures year-to-date were 107,000, which includes legal, audit fees, the Alliance management fee, and some small fees for insurance, computer and bank charges. So our net revenue year to date, April, is 198,000. Questions?
It's like the accounts have been set up with M&T,
Yes.
and it also the balance sheet shows that the CDs matured on May 16th. So that,
Yep, that's
Is
been
that-
put into the checking at Trustco, and will get moved over to M&T.
okay.
That should happen within the next week, and I have all the wiring instructions and all it's closed. You get them all transferred over then. Also, with regards to the financials, any other? Great. Let's see here. Nominating governance committee, Marlene?
Okay, the governance committee is going to make a motion to accept an amended UTEP. And I guess if Fritz, you want to go over that and give the gist of the changes so the board is aware?
That's fine. So, before you, we're going to circle back. We're going to talk about the public hearing resolution attached to that in the materials is the minimum tax exemption policy. And red line of the changes that we made from the governance committee recommendations. The big ticket items, and Marlene jump in any time, is the former UTEP. The current UTEP requires the taxpayer to sign off on any deviation, which is, kind of a burden. Still, a lot of ideas don't do that. So one of the things that we recommend that the governance committee removing that requirement to get tax jurisdictions consent. The other thing that we set up is a matrix of different factors that would be considered, different pilots that would be considered. That matrix is scheduled B to the, Schedule B talks about what the matrix is and what factors would be considered by the board members in determining what pilot to give to a potential applicant. Schedule A lists the 3 categories of exemptions and abatements that would be available to a project applicant. So, it isn't, you score a definite score and you're in this category. It's more flexible to allow board members to determine. I think the factors kind of line up for a category 2 instead of a category 1. So it's not as rigid as some UTEPs are for some of them. So I think I have the big items. Let me know if I missed something.
Is there a fixed payment component of the amendment?
Yes, right. So fixed fee pilots would be a part of this. Would be a part of our UTEP. So in other words, you get the fixed fee for per, assessed value per million would be X amount of dollars. That's an example of a fixed fee pilot. So that's a little different. A lot of ideas don't do that, but we're seeing more and more of that.
And this is something we've been talking about for a few weeks now, and it will allow us to not be in a situation like we were with the Vista project.
It also requires a determination of the tax rate or setting the tax rate, working with the assessor to determine not only to basically plug in and assume tax rate into the future.
Yes.
So the benefit is that it gives the project applicant a very fixed, known
So
tax payment
sort of-
out through the terms of the pilot agreement, not susceptible to reassessment risk or susceptible to tax rate changes that are extraordinary high or
No surprises.
You know, the reality of this is that these pilot payments are going to be negotiated with the municipality and the school district of where the project is located. We're not going to enforce a pilot payment that hurts the school district or a municipality, you know, or is just something that would have happened. Just doesn't make sense. It'll give us a little more, you know, credibility. And somebody says, well, how'd you come up with that? We've got a methodology here. And as Bill says, the certainty, you know, the fixed payment gives the applicant the certainty of their cost structure and their project.
Okay, well, is there something we have to act on here?
Yes, so we recommend for these, any kind of amendments that you could have a public hearing. It's not an absolute legal requirement, but it's always good from the ABO standpoint to be full. And so this resolution would just be authorizing a following a public hearing, discuss amending the UTEP. After the public hearing, if the board move forward, we have an approving resolution blessing amended UTEP.
Great. Okay, can we get a motion then to have a public hearing?
I'll make the motion.
Second? A second. All in favor?
Right.
Okay, so move.
Very good.
Great, thank you. Bill, Water Committee, anything? Mention?
Nothing to,
Very good. Bill report, Kevin.
Yeah, the only,
Oh,
We do have one thing that's
Okay,
over
yep.
report, and I'll let Chris cover this. The ABO requires us to appoint a procurement officer, which we do not have currently.
Okay,
So we don't need a formal resolution for that, but we should take care of that when we check it out.
okay.
General, I was thinking is appointing a CFO for all those procurement officers. We could relate to
Okay, nobody agree with that? You agree with that? Very good. Okay, so then can we have a motion then to appoint Amy as our procurement officer? Okay, can we get a second?
Sure, I'll second.
Okay, all in favor? Opposed, okay, so moved. Congratulations. Very good.
That's it for me.
All right. CEO report, Kevin.
Yeah, and this kind of jumps ahead of it a little bit, but as you know, we do economic impact analyses for each of the projects that we bring to the IDAs. We have one associates do an economic impact of the active projects, and in your package you'll see the full study. But the summary is that this project creates a total of 160 jobs in between permanent and indirect and induced direct construction and induced construction jobs. You know, we've got annual earnings that this will generate of $8.6 million, annual sales of 15 and 12. You know, and there's other revenues here that this generates for the county and for the area. You know, certainly justifies the involvement by the IDA. And I would just add one other thing. Atlas Costco has been a very good corporate citizen of the county, and they've had the confidence in our county to expand here. So, you know, again, really happy to bring this project to the IDA board. We do have a few representatives from the company on the poll, I believe, right?
I'm here, other people were not able to join, but I can answer questions about the project or I'm supporting this application in the beginning, so a lot of the details of it.
Right, thank you, Todd. But anyway, so that's the economic impact, study in there. If there are any questions, I'd be happy to answer those. And, one of the things that, is kind of, an estimate from here is the pilot tax payments. Those are subject to negotiations that we'll have with the town and the village and the school district. County, we can take care of, but again, we're confident that we'll, have a successful resolution again, because Atlas Copco has been a very important citizen in that community, in the village of Voorheesville and the town of New Scotland. So that concludes my report, Mr. Chairman.
So will this be before or after the adoption of the new uniform tax exemption?
Well, the public hearing, the public hearing, will take place
Remember,
at the same time.
remember, you can deviate your current tax.
Sure.
Not requiring the tax service except for what we've done. Right.
But the public hearings will happen at the same night. I think we do actually have to hold two separate public hearings.
No, one for this one, that because one application.
No, one for this, but then, one for the UTEP.
Oh, yeah, sorry, yeah. That's great.
So Todd, do you want to give us like a quick overview of the project?
Absolutely. So right now, the current factory, we've been building compressors there for about almost 44 years. But as we are moving into markets like carbon capture and sequestration, energy storage applications, they require much larger machinery than our current factory is able to build. Right now, we have to build all those machines over in Germany, which is true for all other competitors in the market. We started an investigation last year about potential sites that we could expand on. We do have a sister company in California that does turbo expanders where we do compressors. There was also some sites in Ohio that we looked at. But right now, the site in Voorheesville is the furthest ahead. We've got the experience here, like was mentioned, we've got a knowledge base with our current employees. So we've been the most aggressive here for this location. So trying to get all of the financials together to justify the expansion. Again, this will allow us to build these large machines here in New York in the United States instead of having to build them overseas and transport them. So from a carbon footprint, it makes a lot more sense. From supporting our customers here domestically, it makes a lot more sense. So we're really trying to get everything together so that we can support these markets. Some of the other things that this will allow us to do is like district heating applications. So there's a lot of that going around, especially in New York State. Puts us very close to those customers as well. So we've been working with Acida on some of those different applications. We've been working with technology developers for these things. We also produce all the compressors for Plug Power for their hydrogen liquefaction out of this factory already. So this will also help us support that market as it grows with more efficient production, safer handling of larger equipment. And we estimate about 55 permanent jobs here long-term on top of the about 250 current. Ranging from skilled labor all the way up to engineering and support positions. Any questions or things I didn't cover that people have questions on, I'd be answered those.
I'd be interested in going over there to check out the facility, not contingent upon the supports, but at some point, if other board members would be interested in doing that.
Sure.
We'd be happy to arrange that.
Great.
We work through you or anyone in your office to schedule that?
Coordinate that, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
great.
Todd, we'll call you and coordinate that.
What do you see, Todd, as the construction timeline on something like this? How long do you think it'll take to construct?
So right now, the timeline, there's roughly 5 to 6 months of engineering and design work that needs to be done. And then, once the approval is to move forward and all the engineering and construction engineering piece is done, the construction is expected to be less than 18 months. So from time of approval to up and running, we're estimating about 2 years, maybe a little bit less if things go well. We've already started working to get zoning variances with the town of Voorheesville. We've already been working with the DEC and Army Corps of Engineers on the wetlands, working to get all that approved. We've already gone through the process of looking into things for like geothermal and things like that for heating our buildings. So with this expansion, we're also looking to put in solar panels and things like that because we want to make sure we're also improving our operations and working toward like science-based targets that Atlas Copco commits to globally. So this building being, I don't know, 60 or 70-year-old building, there's a lot of opportunities to improve the heating systems and the water systems, things like that, and building do this. So trying to make all of that just a better operation for all.
Thanks for the background. Appreciate that. Good luck on this project. Chris, is there anything else we should?
Yeah, like, so it's before you use a public hearing resolution, just to move this forward to authorize holding a public hearing, respect to the project. First step.
Sure. Okay, can we get a motion to move on the public hearing? Can we get a second? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? So moved.
Excellent.
So Todd, would you like to stay with us or are you going to say your goodbyes?
I'll say
Okay. So Kim, one thing on the economic development, the economic analysis reports.
Mhm.
So moving forward, could we have them address the matrix items in the report? So we know where we stand on those?
Let me talk about it.
Okay, great.
Yep.
Comments at this point, I think, right? Anyone else on the line?
No, we do have one housekeeping thing that we have to do for the CRC. We have to apply for the human officer of the IDA.
Okay.
I think we have a good candidate in mind.
We just did that.
Oh, did we do that? We did it for the CRC too? Or did we?
Okay.
You give us a little presentation and we apologize for the
It's behind this, I think behind.
So I just, yeah, I think this is a positive thing that we talked about public power. That, I'm all for college education, but if you're proposing jobs, this is gonna help job opportunities for high school grads, which it looks like there's work. And there's an opportunity, whether it's bus lines or other things. I mean, I think that's a really good thing to put out, annual reports. Our marketing and other things that we're not just helping, the big business thing, that this is, this looks like 2/3 or 3/4 of the jobs here are actually GDP level, which is like an excellent thing. So just thought it'd be good to talk about that.
Yeah.
Sorry for the.
No, that's great. That's great.
In the period report, it asks you what the salary range of the
But it could be
jobs
buried in, something, so it'd be good that might place it. Great, because there's so limited opportunity for people to get out basically, so that's.
Project section of the new IDA site would be a great place to feature that because it would be optimized for search and people could surf the web and great idea.
All right, let's back to the website.
Let's do it. He's going to show us.
Okay, so our task.
Yeah, Mark, you just want to introduce yourself to the.
Sure.
I'm the Executive Vice President Strategic for Capillary Media. My focus is economic development. I have agency of record for Greene County and also have been leading the Green County Economic Development Corporation's creative side for the past 10 years. So we do the Buy Green Consumer Attraction Program and the Invest Green Business Attraction. So, what we're looking for with this is to kind of get everybody at the same party under the Advance Albany Alliance. Okay. So we wanted to make sure that when somebody came to, everybody looked like we were all part of one big organization. So essentially here, you have some basic information about the ACIDA, project spotlight, meetings calendar, and then the team, the board, and then all of the public documents really accessible so that people can get to them and find them what needs to be done. There are a variety of other links to this that under the marketing side of it for located in Albany County about community site selection, quality of life, then incentives and support, all of the different things, and then about the alliance up top. The thing that's nice about this is that it can be totally administered in-house. Anytime any documents have to be added to it, that can be done by the in-house team. The developer that worked on this project is a woman by the name of Michelle Brown, and when she designs an interface to do this on the back end of the website, I always call it, it's Michelle-elegant. It's just a very elegant solution and it's intuitive. And plus, we're around if any questions need to happen once the training goes through. I know we're under an aggressive timeline to get some documents uploaded, but wanted to make sure we presented to you guys and had any questions answered that you might have.
So the training hasn't happened yet?
Training has sort of been kind of ongoing a little bit, but that can happen virtually at any time.
And who is going to be trained on the back end for staff?
Amy and I.
Okay.
But, you know, as you know, we used to have to go to the county to get all the stuff posted, and there were oftentimes delays. And that's one of the reasons we've got some issues with the ABO. Now we can just load this stuff directly and be in control of our own destiny.
So both the 88, the current Alliance website is still in effect. There will be links to that site and from that site. The new sites are built under a subdomain of that site that is support.albanycountyalliance.com.
You mean where we were housed on the Albany County site, right?
All that
Okay.
stuff is now to a subdomain that we're establishing here. Okay. So it's
There still are links from the county website to the Alliance.
we have that going both ways, but the idea is you don't have to go to the county to do anything. Updates, all of that at any time.
Great.
Okay. And it's clean and elegant, and it looks good on your phone. I was telling the CRC when I first started working on websites with Kathy Ray in 2015, 80% of the web surfing was done from the desktop, and only about 20% from another device. Now 80% right from here. It's totally flipped. So that's now there is a couple of additions. After that, you're going to make sure that we have the additions from the CRC. We might want to carry that over to this as well. Okay. So yeah.
And if I could request, a short bio from each of you, a few days, because that's one thing the ABL requires that we have to get up on the site. Deadline is, next Friday, to get it up on the website, but I'd like it before then.
Of this week, of next week, should be there. Give us some time to get everything. You know, and any of you who are in the CRC, of course, you have to send it, we'll just take it for that.
So Mark, can you go into the locate in Albany County tab?
Right.
Let's see like quality of life.
Okay. So this, as you can see, this goes back to the Advanced Albany County website. This is not part of the subdomain that we work on.
Oh, so you guys aren't creating content?
No, that already exists.
CRC and the IDA.
It's just for the IDA and CRC. So everything on this page and the subs to it, as you can see, this is our dev server right now, but this will read support.albanyalliance.com.
So I kind of feel like that
the IDA should be marketing itself to an extent, unless the alliance is gonna take on that role.
Oh, yeah, no, we absolutely do. Yeah. I mean, you'll see all of our marketing materials. I mean, the way this works is, the Alliance goes out and markets, and under our, tool chest, if you will, we have the IDA, the CRC, the Altech Loan Fund, the STAGE program, and each one of those you can dig into and get, the details of. So, when we go out to, we were just at the offshore wind show out in New Orleans. I'm going to be at the Select USA Foreign Direct Investment Show down in Washington, D.C. later this month. We're out there promoting the activities of the IDA, the CRC, and all the other programs. And that's, and as Mark was saying, the idea is to, there's a one-stop shop, there's an umbrella organization that kind of helps manage and promote all of these entities so that a business interested doesn't have to talk to the IDA separately or the CRC and then the county and this organization and that. It's
I think your point is that you want to have distinct branding for IDA in addition to the umbrella. So,
Not necessarily, although I don't think that's a bad idea. My thought is that I don't know how a company who wants to come to Queens, not a big company, maybe a small or medium-sized company, and relocates, knows to come to us. I don't know how they find that out if they don't already know.
They know that through us. So if they go to our website, they'll see the IDA and, listen, one of the biggest incentives we have is through the IDA. Property tax, sales tax, and reporting. But it's not the only ones. We also have, grant programs and loan programs and other things we do. So that's our job. That's what you pay the Alliance. That's what you pay through the management contract for the Alliance. That we go out and I think it's kind of proven that the activity of the IDA has gone up precipitously since we've taken over. And I foresee that continuing. I mean,
But it seems to me like we only seem to attract projects of a certain size. But I mean, I understand that's the role of the IDA. On a smaller business level, maybe it would be the role of the Alliance to.
Yeah, there's, there's a little bit of a threshold. The IDA is a little expensive to access. You've got to pay a fee of, and there's there are better alternatives to smaller companies. The Altech Loan Fund, we can loan up to $1 million at 4%. That's very good money these days. And in our STAGE program, if they're one of the companies that are eligible for that, that's a grant program that we give up to, we can give millions of dollars to.
Which one is that STAGE?
Sustainable technology and green energy. So that's got to be technology or alternative energy companies. So, but again, the real small companies, we don't do retail businesses. That just isn't usually
On the IDA, not the Alliance level.
on the IDA. We just helped Common Roots buy the old Albany pump station. And whereas we don't usually do retail, they manufacture a product and sell it, beer. So we did do that one, but we don't usually do a whole lot of things, really small projects, with the exception of the Altech Loan Fund. We do small, we'll do daycare, but even that, I would really like to kind of evolve into being strategic. The county executive did a strategic plan. It identified the industries that were best positioned to go after. And I'd like to kind of stick to my knitting and, go after those only. It's coming on 5 years now since we did the plan. So it might be time to do a refresh of our strategy and determine if, there are other things that we should be looking at. I think the next, and I'm in talks with the company right now, which is a semiconductor supply manufacturer, that I think we are ideally positioned to take advantage of. And this would be a $40 or $50 million project, a couple hundred jobs, but, this could be the first of many companies that are looking to be close to global foundries, Wolfspeed and Micron.
Would that be on the state campus?
There's a couple of different sites we're showing them. They haven't decided on one.
Kevin, this is the website, right? So what
Yeah.
about like a collaborative material? Is there IDA, information that when you hand off to somebody, is there? What does that look like?
We have, they call them slicks, for individual sites, whether it's Vista Technology Campus or Altech Steel Plant or Heritage Park. And we also have an annual report that we use as kind of dual purpose. It's one to report the things that we do, but it also has all the programs that we offer as well, which we brought down to the offshore wind show down in New Orleans last month. But, there are some improvements we need to make on that front. We need to get a little, everybody, all the consultants tell me, you got to focus on social media and your digital presence. I still think, and maybe I'm a little old school here, but
Gotta have a lead on it.
I still
Gotta have a lead on it. So yeah, right. Pager, you gotta have something, right?
Well,
I think so.
like what you're saying about social media, getting our website up and running and being so great is the first step.
Yes.
The goal of social media is generally to drive traffic to your website. So I think we've taken a great first step here.
Hey, Kev, just an unsolicited suggestion, when you're talking about social media, LinkedIn as opposed to, right, as opposed to Instagram or TikTok.
We don't YouTube and Instagram.
Oh, yeah, LinkedIn.
Yeah.
Saying LinkedIn is.
Who controls that site? LinkedIn. Like you said. So there's like an EA.
It's a device.
It's a. Okay.
And how often are you guys posting?
Whenever we have an event, something significant, not on there daily, but like go on the conference and.
Yeah.
We are looking into somebody that can help us with our social media postings.
That is something we do. So we do comprehensive social calendars for a variety of clients. Green County, for instance, is on social channels every day. So that, and it's delivered spectacular results as far as web traffic is concerned, and even more downloads of collateral materials where we capture addresses and then funnels into an email database. And we started a crazy little one sheet about 6 years ago that was supposed to be just a hand into the legislators on their way in about what was going on in economic development towards the Atlantic. And granted, positively green. It's now up to over 8,000 subscribers. So it just that type of thing, with the right strategy behind it and the right application.
Questions regarding the website?
Just the subdomain you mentioned. Where did we come up with that support AC? Because that makes no sense.
First of all, nobody looks at the subdomain to begin with, right? But so the very few people will be looking at the URL. But the reason to support is because there is support for both the IDA and the CRC. That's what we
Support from,
yes.
like the client can get support.
Get support.
Support. So it says the URL is support from or
So
support
support.
support
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Well,
I mean, I guess like if you go out and talk to somebody, it's your website.
Oh, I mean, you just say Advance Albany County.
Yeah, it's right on the front page.
Yeah.
And it's under that one umbrella brand.
Okay, if somebody was to say, show, what's your website for the IDA?
It's gonna be Alliance and click on idea.
That's not the website for the IDA. It's like saying, go to the county, click on that link to go to the IDA. Website for the IDA is support dot Albany, you know.
So support.Albany Alliance / IDA.
And I know it's not branded. I'm just saying it's not a good branding. It really doesn't make any sense to somebody. If you were meeting somebody in Louisiana and you said, they say, okay, write down the IDA's website. You say, well, go to this one instead. They're like, no, I want this one. It's support at ACA. What was that? And just, you know,
Yeah.
we make me think that like, why not ADA dot ACA?
We'll talk about it.
Yeah,
Subdimension to change.
I know. It's easy.
And then when we do nail it down, I'd love to get like a card or something we can hand out to people with that information. Because
You know, because we don't want people to think the IDA is the only tool we have.
Agreed.
It's very important. It's not the only one. It's, got all of these tools at our disposal to make a project work. And sometimes we put, you know, more than one of these tools to work to get a project done.
So the other tools, what are their domains?
There's only the Alliance and then for the IDA and the CRC, that's what's on the subdomain. Because they had to be built to a new website platform so that they could be remotely administered in-house.
So the CRC and the IDA share the same subdomain.
Yes. Yeah, that doesn't mean we could make it determine, you know, change it around so that it looks different.
It seems.
I hear what you're saying.
And it's changeable too. It's not like we have to decide.
Right.
Just
Honestly, I think that, you know, the umbrella branding is more effective than the individualized marketing being part of a bigger organization. You know, but that's a decision for you, for the board.
Question of, I never.
I mean, like
thought
that
of that,
reaction,
to be
the
honest.
first thing is like, you know, you go to pick a car dealership, you know, GMC.com, and you go support that GMC.com.
Now, here's another thing, it's just easy enough to understand that there's an on solution. We can set up redirects. So we could set up a redirect that would be publishable.
Yeah.
That just says, it's this, and it automatically lands on the right page. That can be whatever you want it to be. You just have to buy a domain and then just set it up as a redirect.
Something in Albany County.
You know, it's available right now.
Isn't the, I would suspect that these domains are optimized in a way that if somebody just Googles Albany County IDA, they're gonna get to either this site directly or the Alliance site.
Once this gets,
Search line.
once this gets, Google gets its hands on it and gets it all indexed, yes, that's optimistic. And that, and quite frankly, that it's
Obviously gonna be the drive, right? I think.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just.
You know,
Like anything.
people don't ask their phones, you know, it's just, now it's not going to type anything, just ask, you know.
Yeah, if we had hired a website developer that didn't optimize our website for search, we hired the wrong people in this day and age.
Way of parking one website on another website, you know.
Questions regarding the website? Okay, I think we're all set. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
so much, folks.
Take care.
Yeah.
Discussion, go ahead. Okay, I think that's it. So thank you, Todd, for your time today. I appreciate it. We look forward to coming out and, you know, getting it sorted. Okay.
Thanks, Todd.
Can I get a motion
Good night.
to adjourn? Second, all in favor? Oh, adjourn. Thank you. Thank you, Todd.
Yes, you may.
Thank you, folks.
Very good.